This podcast is brought to you in part by PNP Games, your online source for everything video games. Visit their website at pnpgames.com or at their 2 retail locations in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Alrighty, everybody, and welcome to the Touch of Gaming podcast, episode number... Ooh, my mic was really hot there. Episode number 138. So, always I'm your host, Lloyd Hannison, and joining me, and often muting the mic today, Jared Schultz. Jared, how are you doing?
I'm feeling a little sick today, Lloyd, but I am sporting a nice pair of new glasses. I can see again.
You can see clearly now.
Yep. You really wanted me to say the rain is gone, didn't you?
I did a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, that's a little bit better. Sorry, my mic was doing some weird things, but everything sounds good now. And the rain is not gone. We're getting huge, heavy rain here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. So grab your stuff and I won't reiterate the video that we just watched before doing the show. All right, man, let's get into this. It's Thursday, May 30th, and we're doing another ToG. So let's jump right into it. Again, a huge thanks go to PNP Games for supporting the podcast network. We talked about them in the past. We'll talk about them again. They're a great shop. If you go to pnpgames.com, they have an online shop. You can buy all sorts of retro and current video games. They have a couple places here in Winnipeg, Manitoba as well that sell games. I was there on Saturday, and I bought a bunch of old retro games for my kids. So Nick is currently playing through a Hot Wheels stunt racer or something on the Game Boy Advance. I want to see. Yeah, so I got the box, the manual, and the game for $7. It was just a stupid deal. So I highly recommend that you guys check them out over at pnpgames.com. All right, man. Before we get into this, we're also a member of the Tech Podcast Network. Find out other shows like this one over at techpodcast.com. So, Jared, what the heck have you been up to on your iOS devices?
So, been playing actually kind of a lot of games, but nothing for a huge amount of time. So, anyone that talks in the forums and stuff like that realizes that I go through games like really late, the big games. So I just completed Mass Effect 2 for the first time, and I decided to drive straight in and go into Mass Effect 3. So because of that, I've been playing Mass Effect Infiltrator and Mass Effect 3 Datapad to try and get my galactic readiness up a few points.
Sure.
So I hate to admit that those have kind of been the two that I've played maybe the most this week, because I really want my galactic readiness, guys. So
you don't need that much galactic readiness to get the best ending in the game. I think you only need like I think it's like 100. What was it, 13,000 or something?
1,300
or 1,300, something like that. Whatever that number is, it goes up to. No, wasn't it 13,000? Or no, maybe not.
No, it doesn't go that high for sure.
Okay, that's obviously not the number then that I'm thinking of. Maybe it's 3,800 then, something like that. Anyway, you don't need to get everything to 100% to get to the best ending. But yeah, it's still fun to get it up anyway.
Yeah, well, I've kind of been just playing a lot on the computer, and then when I have time that I'm not around my computer, I go and play it on my iPod so that, when I do get to the ending, I can get the best ending possible.
Is it actually tying in and working between the two devices? Because when I played through Mass Effect 3, my datapad couldn't communicate with the servers, so I couldn't do the galactic readiness stuff on the datapad app.
So really weird, the Mass Effect Infiltrator, it won't connect to Origin. And so I have to connect something else to Origin. This is really dumb. And then, for example, the datapad or whatever.
Right.
And that will connect to Origin, and then I can load in Mass Effect Infiltrator. And after I've already connected in Origin in another game, it will then upload to my account. But I haven't had any troubles with datapad unless... So datapad, I have issues if I just keep trying to load it. If it, you know how if you double click the home button, that all the active things will come up.
Yeah.
I have to shut it down every single time I use it, or else it won't reconnect.
That could be
So
maybe what happened to me. I didn't bother to mess around with it anymore.
yeah,
Hmm.
so it's a little fiddly, and you would think that they would have figured it out because I'm playing this a year after the game came out, but they didn't, and I'm still having issues with it. But I'm too motivated, and I'm making it work. So that's been a lot this week. I've been playing through that really fast, and so it probably won't last too long.
Cool.
And then I've been playing a game that came out today called Warhammer Quest. This is by Rodeo Games. They're the guys that did Hunters and Hunters 2. Really great turn-based strategy game. Not really sure. I've played couple hours in it, I think, right now. And I like it. It's really, really interesting. There are a couple of things that I'm not sure I like about it, but I'd like to play it a little bit more before I pass too much judgment on it. At times, it feels like it's a little bit slow.
Hmm.
Like we were talking just slightly before. It's almost like there are a few things that they maybe could have automated through,
Right.
and they didn't, and that's too bad because at times the game does feel a little slow. But I'd like to play a lot more of it before I get too heavy in the review. I do really like it though.
Yeah. Yeah. It's done really, really well. It's like Hunters was kind of it was just a turn-based strategy game. So you appear in a level, you venture out, you shoot all the baddies, you get to the end trigger, boom, you're done. This one has kind of like a Diablo hack and slash kind of skin thrown over it. So you're going through dungeons, you're killing things, they're spawning loot, you get the loot, you upgrade your character, you get equipment, you put the equipment on your character, you have different slots of normal, uncommon, and rare. Seems like there's a huge amount of things that are kind of happening with the character customization, but so far it's been great. I'm really enjoying it. Like you said, it is kind of slow in some areas. The whole in-app purchase thing, I'm not too sure on yet. Where there's places where you can lose your gold and stuff like that. It costs a lot of gold to level up your characters, and even though the game was $5, they're selling gold, and it's not cheap. And the game seems to be fairly short. I haven't beaten it yet, but you can buy another kind of chapter for another $5. So it seems like it's not as cheap as one might first think about it. But still playing through it. We'll see what our thoughts are. I'm really loving the kind of turn-based hack and slash, though. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, I'm hopeful that we can probably review it like next week.
Yeah, that's the plan.
We have been talking with the developers, and they're willing, and we're trying to schedule right now another interview with them, like we did last year, shortly after Hunters 2 came out. So if you do have any questions for them, or you pick up the game and have questions, or anything else, please drop us a line and let us know, and we'll make sure to include those questions. We're happy to do that for you.
Mm-hmm.
You probably have about a week to do that for sure, and then watch for that because we're really excited. It's always fun to have developer interviews.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Oh yeah, I was still going on what I was playing. So then I've been playing a game called Merchant to the Stars. So this game, it looks horrific, and it just came out yesterday, and it's like they have no idea what to do on a color palette of a game. However, it's kind of fun because basically, like, you are a merchant and you have different heroes that are coming to your little store, and you have to equip them with things, and they go into their little dungeons or whatever, and then they come back with stuff, and you can either buy their stuff and try to improve it so that then you can sell it, or you lots of times a lot of the stuff that they'll bring back you'll just be turning into basic materials so that you can improve your stuff later. and you use those basic materials to improve the good stuff. So you buy a lot of their crap, the ones that you can burn down for basic materials, and then you sell the really good stuff because it's obviously worth a lot more money. So it's an interesting little game. I was hoping it would be a little more to do because right now it seems very basic. Like someone comes, you repair their stuff, and then you buy some stuff, you sell it, and you forge it. And I don't know. It's just I was hoping there might be a little more to do. But yeah, still playing that one. Obviously, it only came out today, so I think I've probably only logged maybe an hour into it. So yeah, review will be coming on that one shortly, and then I've been playing a game by another one of my favorite developers. This is just like a crazy time because it seems like every week one of my favorite developers has something coming out with Warhammer Quest, and then I think it was last week, right, that Combo Crew came out.
Yep.
So Combo Crew is by Game Bakers, which is a French development studio that were the people behind Squids and Squids Wild West, which Squids Wild West was my game of the year last year. So obviously I was very, very excited to see what they were bringing out next. And their next game is Combo Crew, which it's kind of a beat 'em up, kind of in the vein of like a Double Dragon or something like that. But they are trying to figure out how to actually do this type of a game without buttons. And I think they do a pretty good job at it. I think it's quite a bit of fun. There is one little goofy thing. And there's a couple different modes in the game. And so there's the King of the Hill one, which is fun because you go through all their different challenges, but then there's Combo Crew mode. And the problem with Combo Crew mode is you have to have friends in order to do it. And so you'll be going along and it's kind of like a go as far as you can and then until you die. And then if you have people in your combo crew, they can save you. However, they don't use Game Center friends, which
So stupid.
is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to have the email addresses of people that you want to play with. So I really like the game. I would like to do more in the combo crew mode. So if you are playing the game, add me. My email is in the forums so that we can try and get some people together and actually get a combo crew going so that we can actually have more fun and actually enjoy this portion of the game. I think it's really sad that they didn't just do it through Game Center. Mm-hmm. It would have been a lot easier if I could have just used all the people that were already my friends.
Exactly. Since you Trevored, you spent the time. So I just read Trevor already signing into the chat room, and apparently I Trevored. No, that was hilarious. You spent all the time building all those relationships, and then they're unusable in games like this, which just makes me scratch my head. It just doesn't make any sense at all to me. But I don't know. Maybe there's a technical issue. Maybe I don't think so though.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Maybe they can figure out how to make it work, or I don't know exactly. But yeah. So come, let's work together. Let's do a VG podcast combo crew, and hopefully we can review that game here soon.
Yeah, for sure.
I really like it. You play it and you use coins to unlock stuff. You get what look like Nintendo controllers to unlock other characters. One of the characters you can unlock is one of the Squids characters, Samo from Squids, which is kind of funny. Mm-hmm. And then as you're playing through, it's you get coins and you're able to unlock new combos so that they're doing newer and cooler stuff. And it's really cool the way that they have it. And I like the controls because you have the little swipe to attack, and then you can swipe hold, and that will do a super attack, and then you swipe with two fingers, and depending in what direction will be which combo you do. And yeah, it's really, really good. I'm really, really excited, and like I said, would like to get some friends to be playing it with me,
Hmm.
because I need a crew to play combo crew.
Yeah, so come
That
come to the VG podcast forums. I'm sure Jared will start a thread there, and if you want to play with us, we can go and add each other and build up our crew and have some fun comboing with the crew in combo crew.
So, yeah, that's what I've been playing. There already is that thread out there, Lloyd. So,
Oh, there is.
yeah, just no one else has responded to it yet.
Oh, I was just at the forums. I didn't see it, or no, I was there. Oh, I went on my lunch. So yeah, no, it's been a while. My bad. Wah, wah.
Anyway, so what have you been playing, Lloyd?
I've been playing a fair bit. I've been battling my way through Far Cry 3 on the 360, playing Donkey Kong Country on my 3DS. Oracle Ages and Oracle Seasons came out today on the 3DS, so picked those up, $5 a pop. So I probably have about like 800 hours of RPGs to go through right now. It's just absolutely asinine the amount of games that I have to play. But I have been spending some time playing stuff on my iOS devices. So on my iPad mainly, I've been playing through Poker Night 2. Going to be reviewing that one a little bit later. Warhammer Quest as well. We already talked about that, Jared. Really, really digging it. The look, the feel, the pacing's a little bit slow. Some of the IEP stuff may need a little bit of work. Other than that, loving it. Really, really, really love it. Greedies is a new game. The developers were actually talking about it in our forums that I went and checked out. Just came out today. It's free. Check it out. It's an auto runner with kind of like a portal mechanic and an avoidance from the police mechanic. So you have these number of floors, and you're sliding doors up and down, which changes the portal. So if you have like say a pink, a yellow, and a blue, you slide the yellow down to where the blue is, and you walk into it. Then you come out the yellow door from the other side, and you're always auto running. You can change directions by tapping the screen, and that's pretty much it. And the game basically has you beating people up for money and trying to get as much high score as you can in a minute, and then going on to the next level. So yeah, check that one out. It's free. Greedies, definitely worth checking out. I've been playing Combo Crew as well. And what else? Sonic the Hedgehog. A redone version of Sonic the Hedgehog came out. So if you've already owned this game, you'll get the update for free. If you didn't already own it, you're going to basically be downloading the classic version of Sonic the Hedgehog, but it's redone. You can't tell that it's redone, but basically the guy that did the Sonic CD port basically recreated the whole game in his really awesome, super fast engine. And you can play through the original Sonic the Hedgehog. A lot of fun. Played this game so much. It's great fun. Even cooler with this is there is a huge debug mode that's put in. So when the game's starting up on your iPad, all you basically have to do is tap Sega backwards when it starts off with the big like Sega. And it's like, so you tap it backwards and then you touch the screen with two thumbs. And then you basically open up a hidden options menu where you can basically make it so you're playing as Tails or you're playing as Knuckles. You can have auto warp to any of the levels. You can turn all the emeralds on. A lot of things from Sonic the Hedgehog 2 and 3. You can basically turn those types of things on, like you can do air attacks and things like that. So it's kind of like this weird remix of all the Sonics in this version, which is Sonic 1, all because the guy that basically put out this port has written this really, really amazing, super fast retro game engine. So I've just been basically messing around with all of this stuff and playing with new characters in old Sonic games and having a heck of a lot of fun doing it. So if you haven't checked out Sonic, it's like $3 or something on the App Store. It's universal now, so it plays on the iPad and the iPhone. Definitely worth checking out just for all the additional stuff that you can do in it now. Really is a lot of fun, so do check that one out. All right, man, let's get into the show. No email this week. Send in your emails to vgpodcast@gmail.com or your voicemails to 505 VG Podcasts. So we have stuff to talk to you about in future episodes. Notable releases this week. Today we got a nice surprise with Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Just landed on the App Store. We talked about it last week, that it was a rumor. Turns out the rumor was true. So for $10, you can basically download the original Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and play through the whole game on your iPad, which is pretty damn amazing. And it's a faithful port. The only real difference is the controls need maybe a little bit of work, you might say. It's still got like an 8.4 on IGN, so even with the control issues, it's still really, really good. So do check it out if you want to play a really, really great action RPG type thing. Really, really well done. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic, $10. Warhammer Quest.
It kind of released funny because there was that whole thing last week where there was that email with the critically acclaimed Star Wars RPG coming in. Everyone's like, "Oh, really? No one knew anything about that." And then today, I don't know if you're following it, but the review released early this morning, and then the game still wasn't on the App Store, and everyone was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Clearly this is real, or else how did IGN get all these, information on it? So it's kind of weird. I don't know. Almost like they weren't sure how to deal with a mobile platform very well.
Yeah, I think what the issue was, I was following some stuff on Touch Arcade today. It looks like the developers of the game, or I guess whether it was the publisher or the people that made it, I'm not sure. They put out a really crazy NDA, and it was embargoed. So the only people that could put out a review was IGN. They had the review locked down for the first review. So other people got the press release, but they didn't sign it. So that's when things sort of leaked out, was because of that. So I don't know. PR shenanigans are oftentimes really, really annoying. So I think that's where all the confusion came from. But
yeah, but like I said, I still think it's kind of weird. It's almost like they didn't know how to deal with the mobile, especially. I mean, I understand just wanting to give an exclusive to one company and all that, but I don't know. Just feels a little strange. So anyway, we can go on to the other big release.
All right. Well, Warhammer Quest came out. We've already talked about that one. It's $5 on the App Store. Do check that one out. And the other big one is the Phoenix Wright HD Trilogy finally launched on iOS. You can download it for free, and they'll get you the first 2 cases in the first Phoenix Wright game. This is the HD Trilogy, so there are 3. My lights just flickered. That was really weird. It must be raining really hard outside. This does have the 3 Phoenix Wright games. So Justice for All, Trials and Tribulations, and Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. If you want to unlock them all, you can unlock all 3 games for $17. Or you can buy them piecemeal. So the first one, since you get 2 chapters free, it's $1 cheaper. It's at $5.99, and the other 2 you can purchase in game for $6.99 each. So really cheap way to play through 3 good, very good DS titles, Nintendo DS titles. So if you don't want to go buy all the DS titles for $20 a pop or more, if you can even find them, you can basically buy the iOS app or download the iOS app for free and then buy them as you please. Pretty good. I'm hearing some really good things about it. There doesn't seem to be too many problems with the translation over. So go check it out. Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright Trilogy HD.
Did you play any of the Phoenix Wright games on DS?
I did. Yes. I liked
them. I've only ever played the Ace Attorney one. I don't know if it was the first one or what.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Yeah. I own 2 of them. I can't see them right now. I think I own the first 2, or maybe I missed the second one and got the third one. I can't remember which ones I own. But yeah, they came out a while ago, and yeah, I played those way back in the early days of the DS Life podcast, and had a lot of fun with those ones. They're a lot of fun.
Cool. All
right. Let's get into the news. Okay. Starting it off. Do you remember the game Curiosity that was put out by 22 Cans, the Peter Molyneux game, where you're basically tapping a big cube, and that was it?
Yes, I definitely remember that. And then a couple weeks ago they said there's like 50 layers left, and the number of people using it spiked, and whoever tapped the last one, it was going to get something that would change their life, right?
Yeah, exactly. And well, the winner happened. It's it ended. So if you open up Curiosity now, it basically just has a congratulations message or whatever inside of it. But the winner basically got a nice little video from Peter Molyneux himself, in his British charming voice, and basically said, "Congratulations, you've won. You've won Curiosity, and your prize is you are now a god." So the winner is essentially a god in the new game Goddess, which was a Kickstarter for a while, and the game will be coming later this year. So everybody that downloads Goddess and plays Peter Molyneux's or 22 Cans new game Goddess will be ruled over by the winner. His name is what is it? Brian Henderson, I think it is. Let me just see. Yes, Brian Henderson. He's from Scotland. So he will be a god in the game, and he can set all the rules for the game, and he gets a certain percentage of the in-app purchase stuff. So when you buy stuff in the game, he'll get a certain small percentage of that as well as kind of his prize for winning at Curiosity. So kind of a neat thing.
Yeah, I guess. I wonder, did he ever say how many? I would be interested to hear how many hours the winner spent tapping, because I mean he's like a college student or something, and I'm just like, man, can you imagine just tapping? Because I'm sure that, well, and Peter Molyneux even said that there was going to be some release of statistics,
Yep.
about it, and I just wonder how many hours were spent doing nothing but tapping squares to remove them.
Yeah, it was like a global thing where people all over the world were working together at this. And yeah, I tried getting into it right when it launched, and that was when it was having so many problems, and my progress got basically reset a bunch of times, and it was just like, all right, delete. And I never really thought twice about it again. When I heard that there was only like 5 layers left, I was like, oh, I should fire this back up. Maybe I could be the last one and see what the winning thing is. But I never did. And by the next day, it had already been beaten. So yeah, it's one of those games that you kind of had to be there, because there really is nothing in it right now. It's floating with a tweet, I think, is the only thing you see. So yeah, Goddess, check it out. Or Curiosity, sorry. You can now check out the winner in Goddess, which is a game that will be coming to PC, Mac, and iOS in the future. All right. Last but not least, this is a neat little story. It's not really a big story, but it just shows that old games on the iOS App Store aren't necessarily dead. Rockstar today has put out a patch for Grand Theft Auto 3, which is a game that came out a while ago. It was in December. So it's been out for a while. And they basically patched the game to add iPhone 5 widescreen support and the ability to have iCloud saving. So your save game can now be portable between your devices, your iPad and your iPhone, which is huge, because I started it on both devices to try to figure out which one I wanted to play. And there's a huge intro. So I had to sit through the intro on my iPhone to say, yeah, I don't think I want to play it on the iPhone. And then started it up on the iPad. And I'm like, yeah, this is more like it. And continued on from there. But I had to sit through the same like 20-minute tutorial / intro on both devices, where it would have been nice if I could have just saved to the cloud and picked up from the other one and kind of go back and forth. So that is possible. And they've also added in a custom playlist option. So I think they brought some of the features from the newer GTA games into this release. So I'm sure the other things that this has that the other ones don't, like the cloud saving, will probably make their way through all the different Grand Theft Auto games. Of course, the new Grand Theft Auto comes out this year, so I guess they're getting these things polished up so they can probably market like crazy with free downloads of all the old games, I'm sure, to basically advertise that the new one's coming out, something like that. But it's kind of cool to see that developers are supporting their games, even though they've been out for a while and probably have nearly ceased generating revenue for them. But I mean, that's a pretty big game, so it's nice to see games like that updated. All right, man. I think that's about it. Only a couple news stories. Things are slowing down. We're getting into the E3 crunch time. So it's yeah, it's slow. I'm being corrected in the chat room by Foreman. It was December of 2011, so it's been 2 Decembers ago. I thought last December seemed a little bit I don't know, too short, but yeah, it's been out for 2 years. So I don't know. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to install the game. The last GTA I played on my mobile device was the Vice City, I believe. So I haven't checked out GTA 3. I'll have to do that one again and see what other updates they have. You asked Game Center achievements. I'm not sure. I didn't see it in the story, and I haven't installed it. I'll definitely have to do that and have a peek at it. It doesn't show up in my Game Center. At least I haven't seen it, so maybe that's not something they've added. It would be nice, though. Always good to have achievements in the games. All right, man, let's get into the rest of the show. Do you want to do your review, or you want me to take off first?
I better go because I just had a massive coughing fit that I was able to mute out for, and
I heard, so I was like, do you even want to do a review? Do you want to leave it till next week so you can sit there with the mic off?
no, let me go ahead and do the review right
All right.
now while my throat's clear before
Before
get stuff again.
You chunk up too much of your lung.
Yeah, pretty much. So my review today is going to be a game called Tiny Troopers 2. This is the sequel to Tiny Troopers. It's published by Chill and Go, which should already tell you a few things. And then the developer on it is Kukouri, Kukouri. So I'm probably mispronouncing that, and that's okay. And the game is interesting because it's very much like an old game. I don't even remember what generation it's from. It's called Cannon Fodder. Was it a PC game? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was. It's pretty old. I can't even remember when it first came out. But yeah, it was definitely a PC game. That's where I first played it.
So it's an old game like that, and but it's totally stylized with new nice graphics and everything else. The game is currently free on the App Store. However, this is one that they've been changing the price all over the place. So if you look at the price history, it's just been all over the place, anywhere from $2.99 to free. So if you're interested in the game, it's probably worth making sure that you get it for cheap. And the game has been out a couple of months, it looks like. So it came out in the very end of March. So two months that it's been out, and I've kind of had it on, and it's kind of been one that every once in a while I'll go and play a couple rounds. They have a daily login bonus of 10,000 credits, which sounds like a lot, but in the game it's really not. Once you've played it a little ways. And then additionally in the game, there's a handful of you have the points doubler, the coin doubler, as well as the experience doubler. And they're $1.99 each. I don't think that this game is playable without the credit doubler. So just be aware that even if you do find it for free, you're probably going to have to do the $1.99 purchase to double your credits. And I'll get into why that is as I go through this. So it's split into 4 operations, and each operation consists of 7 missions. And you get to pick the difficulty that you then play that mission on. The missions range from 1 bullet up to 3 bullets. And additionally, vested in or hidden in each level is a number of medals. The medals, they'll tell you very clearly how many are in each level. It's usually between about 1 and 3, and they're usually in really weird places that you have to go out of the way to get. And it's a simple game. Basically, you have a small band of soldiers that are trying to do various things, like destroy a radio tower, or destroy all the bad guys, or survive in some of the ones, or rescue the prisoners. One of the most annoying was you had to escort some journalists, because the journalists would go ahead whether or not you had taken out the bad guys ahead of them or not. I think that's kind of always a downfall of any escort mission in games, is if they do things that are completely stupid. But that's all games that try to put an escort game in, it seems like. Um, and so then there are two forms of currency in it. There's your normal credits as well as your medals. And the medals allow you to unlock special things like specialists. And there are various specialists that you can pay. And what happens is you can recruit these specialists for either one medal or a number of credits. And if you go ahead and recruit them, they're a one-time use guy. So they go out and they're with you for the next round. But after that, they're gone. They don't level up or anything like your other characters do. And then the number of characters you take changes. It's based on the level. You have no pick over it. And you can only hire one specialist per level. And it has a really simple interface, has really cute little guys that are, running around. In each level, there's a funny quote called Murphy's Quote that is always something about war and is usually pretty funny. At least, makes you smile a little. If your guys live through the battle, they get a rank up. And I think, the rank up allows them to live a little bit longer. However, usually what happens is you play a couple of times, they get ranked up a couple of times, then you get a really hard one. And all of a sudden, you lose all your guys with rank and you start over with new guys that, are just the lowest level possible. Additionally, you can spend your money, and again, you can spend either your premium currency or just your regular credits to upgrade how much damage your guys do, how much accuracy, their rate of fire, their range of fire, make it so they have more life, and you can upgrade their speed. And so you're constantly turning around and investing your cash in that. So for me, I like to try and usually play games on normal difficulty just because I figure, I don't want to make it super hard because that's not why I play games, to torture myself and, spend forever pulling my hair out. But at the same time, I don't want it too easy, so it's boring. So I usually just try the normal difficulty. So I've been trying the 2 bullets difficulty throughout the game. And after about the first operation, it's very difficult to do the 2 bullet difficulty without hiring a specialist on nearly every level. And so the specialists, like I said, you unlock them with medals, but then you can pay them in just normal credits, the non-premium currency, and they'll have different abilities. For example, you could hire the medic, so the medic will heal your guys if you're away from a battle, or you can hire a flamer guy that obviously carries around a flame and has a little heavy weaponry. My personal favorite is actually just the second guy you unlock, and that's the airborne. And he comes with 3 rockets, and so you're able to use the rockets to take down buildings fast, which is really great because sometimes taking down buildings gets kind of boring and takes a long time, and really exposes you and makes the game hard to win. And so if you just throw one of the rockets at them, it takes care of the building fast. So again, you're just trying to accomplish the missions. It has a really simple interface where you just touch where your guys want to go. You go ahead and click on things that you want to attack, and then sorry, had a quick cough there.
I saw you dying on camera. I was gonna have to call the police.
No, I'm okay.
Or an ambulance.
I didn't want to keep talking when I was about ready to cough.
Fair enough.
It's really simple controls. You play the guys and you try and take out the baddies and accomplish your missions on each one. And that's kind of what Tiny Troopers 2 is all about. It's there's kind of that RPG element where you're investing in your guys to make them a little bit better. You're also spending the money. So to hire specialists is really expensive. For example, the guy that I like is $30,000 credits. But I mean, so when I win a level right now, it gives me like 150,000. So I then have to use 30,000 of that to hire my next guy. And like I said, there's a daily play bonus, but I get that 150 credits only because I have the doubler. So if I didn't have the doubler, I'd only be getting 75,000 credits. And as you can see, that would make it so the amount of cash you were making would make the upgrades very, very slow, because the upgrades start to cost a lot too, like $250,000 and stuff like that. So yeah, it has some very strong freemium, and maybe too strong a freemium, but it is kind of a fun game to kind of just play through. And you don't you have to pay attention to it, because your guys are dumb, and if they get shot, they won't automatically shoot back. So like the other day, I was watching TV and trying to play the game a little bit, and I left my guys in a place where they were safe. Well, one of the bad guys came up and was shooting him, and I looked back, and one of my guys was dead, and the other guy was just standing there getting shot. Yeah, so there's little things like that that are annoying, but overall, I'd say it's a pretty good game. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. If you can find it for free, I'd say it's definitely worth to check out. The tutorial is longer than it needs to be. That's one thing. It's always funny because it's difficult. You don't want no tutorial, but at the same time, you don't want a super long tutorial that treats your customers like they don't know anything or how to play games. That's always a difficult line to walk, and they kind of miss that. But once you get through the tutorial, it is a fun little game to play, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. So yeah, that's Tiny Troopers 2, and you'll find it under the publisher in this case, which is Chill and Go.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thanks, Jared. Thanks for holding off that cough as well. All right, let's jump into the second review for the night. I'm going to review a game called Poker Night 2 on a game that I played on my iPad. It's $4.99 on the App Store. I'm going to mute you for a second, so don't worry about muting your mic. When I'm done my review, I'll bring it back up, Jared, okay? All right, so it's $4.99 on the App Store, and it's essentially a $5 version of a game that is $15 on every other platform that it's on, whether it's Steam, whether it's on your PlayStation Network account on your PS3 or whatever. So I had to check it out on the iPad just because I like saving money, and that was a good way to do it. So Poker Night 2, basically it's a weird game. Obviously, it's a poker game, so that's not super weird. The weird thing is that it's put out by Telltale Games, and it brings characters from a whole bunch of different kind of genres and IPs all together. So in the first game, you had like Strong Badge, you had Max from Sam & Max, you had a couple of, you had the big guy from Team Fortress 2, the heavy guy, and somebody else in there or whatever. So it was weird. I never actually played that one, although I do own it now because of the new Humble Bundle that's out. But this one is even more kind of bizarre. So you have 4 characters that you're playing against. You have Brock Sampson from the Venture Brothers, Ash from Army of Darkness, Sam from Sam & Max, and Claptrap from Borderlands 2. So Claptrap's that little robot that says stupid things and dances around. So that's always fun to have at your poker table. And your dealer for this game is actually Gladys from Portal, which is amazing. Her insults to you and everything. If you've played Portal, the first Portal, all the insults that were basically coming your way, imagine that at a poker table, and you'll know kind of how awesome the game is. So basically, the game has you jumping into a poker hand, $20,000 buy-in, playing Texas Hold'em. You compete. If you win, you get credits and the gold, and then you get to play another hand, and it just keeps going from there, essentially. What they've done to kind of make the game interesting is every time you win, you get tokens, and you use those tokens to buy items in the game. Surprising for an iOS game, you can actually buy tokens through in-app purchases, which is actually really good. But basically what you can do is you can unlock a set of chips, decks, and felt for the poker table for each of the franchises that is inside the game. So, for example, if you unlock all of the Borderlands 2 ones, the room that you're in basically turns into like a Borderlands 2 theme, and you can actually see a lot of people cameos from Borderlands, and stuff like that will happen. And the same thing happens for Sam and Max and all the other ones as well. Kind of a little added bonus. If you do something amazing in the game, sometimes you'll get a little cameo where people get shot in the head for Borderlands, or other things happen, which is good as well. A lot of fun, kind of breaks up the monotony. But those tokens are really good. The other thing that you can use the tokens for, besides buying all your items, your decks, and your felt, is you can actually buy drinks for the different characters. And the more they drink, the more they're liable to kind of give up their hand with tells, and they get more pronounced. So everybody has a tell, but they get more pronounced the more alcohol you've put into their body. So if you're having a particular problem beating someone, you just get them drunk, and then everything goes okay, which is really great. So as you're playing poker, you're given a set of bounties to complete. So I'm just looking at my game right now. So I have a deploy a purchase table unlock. So when you have all 3 items, that's the table unlock. Purchase a drink, or win a showdown with 2 or more opponents. So once you complete all 3 of those, they go away, and then you have a chance to get a special item from one of the characters. So Sam from Sam and Max will have his guitar or his banjo. You have the Book of the Dead from Ash, and then you have a chance to win those items, and they're kind of like premium items to just basically, I don't know, progress in the game. They're kind of the thing that you can get, and the thing that you can kind of win at, and the only reason for continue to play, except for the fact that you like poker. They give you kind of a something to aim for, since you have to do a lot of different steps to finally get to the point where you can win one of those items. And that's pretty much it. Since they have a whole bunch of really funny characters, the insults in the game are great. The banter is great. A lot of swearing, especially from Brock. A lot of swears are dropped, which always makes me giggle. Not a game that I can play with my kids around, unfortunately, because of all that. A lot of them are bleeped out, but you have Brock Sampson doesn't bleep anything out, and he swears a fair bit. And that's pretty much the game. So you're playing poker, and either winning or losing, trying to win as much as possible, obviously, to try to make it to the next level of your bounties, to win the premium item, to then unlock more items, and it just continues and continues and continues. A lot of fun. If you like poker, if you like playing Texas Hold'em. There are some problems with the game. The people that you're playing against are idiots. Like, they'll go all in, not to bluff you, just randomly when they're holding like a 5-3 as their pocket, which you probably would never do. Their tells sometimes are really telling, other times they're non-existent. You can kind of tell, you can kind of learn sort of what the characters are doing, so you know that if Brock or Sam are going all in, they have a really good hand. They usually never bluff with that stuff, where Ash or Claptrap will just randomly do it. You can pretty much buy the blinds most of the times by just going all in, scaring people. So a lot of stuff that a lot of other poker games have as issues, or that have fixed in iterations from their game. This game still has as issues, which, I don't know, makes it kind of boring to play. Like, I was playing a match earlier today, and it went on forever. Like, we would just keep going back and forth, and I was trying to buy the pot, and then they called my bluff, which was the first time that they ever did it from that character, and it was just like, I don't know. I can't figure out the AI in this game, or figure out the personality of some of these characters. It seems like they just randomly change after a while. They go into kind of like a panic mode, and they just do stupid things. But other than that, I mean, it's a fun poker game. If you like playing poker, this is definitely one to one to check out. It's $5. It's full of humor, full of a lot of stuff to unlock and play. And I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. If we did halves, it would probably be a 3.5 because it's not quite a 4. It's not quite a 3. It's kind of a busted poker game, but it's still fun to play. I don't know. The one thing that does get kind of grating is when you're playing the game and you hear the same conversations over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Some of the animations are really funny. Like when you do something stupid, Claptrap falls off his chair, which always makes me giggle, even though I've seen it about 1,000 times. But yeah, a lot of the other things, it's just, it gets kind of grating after a while. I almost wish that there was an option to kind of turn off all the banter and all of the animations and stuff and just kind of blow my way through the rest of the game, because I am kind of getting tired of the banter. You can turn off sound effects and things like that, but then the game is just, it still takes as long. You just can't hear it. So I don't know, maybe in a patch stuff like that will be fixed, but until then, Poker Night 2 gets a 4 out of 5. All right, Jared, you're unmuted, so just so you know, because I can hear
What
you.
if someone doesn't know how to play poker?
There is kind of a tutorial, sort of, but not really. Let me pull up the tutorial. I'm gonna go to, I think it's under the options menu. Let me see. Help and options. That sounds about right. Gameplay, how to play. It pops up. It pops up a set of cards, about 7 of them, or maybe 10 of them. So yeah, if you don't know how to play poker, this game probably won't teach you poker very well. It'll teach you because now you can basically play through it as many times as you want, because there's no penalty for losing, really. It keeps track of your stats, kind of a global, like you've won X number of hundreds of thousands, or you've lost X number of 100,000s, but that's about it. But yeah, no, it's a lot of fun. I don't know. I like it.
Steven just called me out for it because I talked about tutorials being too long. I only asked because I actually don't think I ever learned how to play Texas Hold'em. Like, I've played 5-card stud and all that, but I've never played Texas Hold'em poker, and so I was just curious. And and now I get made fun of because I had complained about the long tutorial, and now I'm asking for a tutorial.
Oh, Jared, you can't win.
Well, I only want the tutorial if I need it.
Exactly. And there's an intro you can actually turn. I just started a new game, and it's you can play with an intro, so it'll kind of give you an idea of how to play. And it also has Omaha as well, so it has Texas Hold'em and Omaha. I've never played Omaha. I've played it a few times. Not really a huge fan, so I haven't really delved deep into their Omaha game. But yeah, I do play a lot of Texas Hold'em, so that's the one that I played through the most, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. As I said, the AI is kind of screwed up, but it's still fun, and the banter back and forth is a lot of fun to experience, especially if you know all the characters that are in the game, which I do. So it's been a lot of fun. All right, man. I think that's going to about do it for this episode number 138 of the Touch Gaming Podcast. We love hearing from you guys. Head on over to vgpodcast.com to send us an email. Email us directly at vgpodcast@gmail.com. Or click contact us at the top of the page. You can call our voicemail line, which is area code 505 VG Podcasts. Thanks again, go out to P&P Games for supporting the show. And Jared, thanks again for joining me. Even though you were really under the weather today, but you soldiered on and dealt with the coughing. So I do thank you for that, man.
Sure, it was my pleasure. We had important stuff to talk about.
I guess we did. All right, guys. So until next week, enjoy those games on your iOS device, and we'll talk to you in about 7 days time. Take it easy.